Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Friday Highlights, helping fellow Americans throughout the United States of America. The AMP Live real estate show powered by AMP Live Media, a marketing, broadcasting, and media company. My name is Erick. I'm going to be your host for the next several minutes here, and we're going to be talking about this AMP Live TV, brought to you by AMP Live TV, and the AMP Live real estate show. We're going to talk about, some PSA announcements, what's going on with the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, what's happening on with some of the people that have joined, the founders and charter members. We're going to talk about the American Mentee Program. We're also going to talk about the pulse of real estate, what's going on in the area here in Southern California, crazy Southern California, as well as Texas and a few other hot spots that are rocking and rolling throughout the United States of America, as well as what was the other PSA announcement was going to be, I believe it's called the Erick Report. Oh my God, what? The Erick Report? Yeah, it's called the Erick Report. Basically, I'm going to kind of give you my little 2 cents, a little crystal ball, what I think is going to transpire in the next 5 to 6, 7 years in regards to real estate. Had that conversation today on another live with a young man who's gearing up to rock and roll and kick some ass in Southern California. But we're going back and forth. Now, obviously, when a mentee comes aboard or a student comes aboard, we will go into that area, and the goal is to, dominate that area for wherever our mentee is at. Because we have an alliance. We're put together, we're working together. An alliance meaning it's reciprocal. They invested in us, we invested in them. So therefore, we trust each other. We paper up and all that good stuff, and we go in. And, no fear, right? I always say no fear. What's the other one? Some humility. You got to have some humility, right? And, we can be ruthless at the end of the day, but still be professional. Because the bottom line is, hey, if you don't get the deal, someone else is going to get the deal, whether it's an agent or a broker or whatever. Yes, speed to lead is still rocking because that is what gets you deals. Money in the follow-up, of course, riches and niches, all those little things are basically true, right? But you got to activate them. You got to use them. You got to put those verticals together. What I mean by verticals is marketing, and those marketing channels, you can call them. I call them verticals. Same thing. You say potato, I say potato. It's all good. It means basically putting those marketing channels and verticals together. Each vertical is text, ringless voice message, and you build one at a time. Master it. Get it rocking and rolling. Other people call it, the internet marketing nerds of the world. Not nerds, it is what it is. Some people are just better at that KPI stuff than others. Like me, I can read it, I can study it, but I'm not gonna, put that pulse on there and go and rely on it. I'm all about the art of the deal, or I should say the AMP Live method. Negotiating, listening, making offers, saying things in a certain way to get people to sign on the dotted line. Not to manipulate or anything like that. It's to understand and be able to provide those solutions to the seller better than others. So therefore, you get your closing ratios higher and higher and higher. So you can close more deals, may create more happy sellers and more happy clients, and continue to rock and roll your business and just get better and better at what you do so you can enjoy it and like it. Now, some of the stories are always awesome, as I shared, and maybe, you've heard them, maybe you haven't. Maybe you don't even know who the hell I am, and it's okay. My name is Erick. I'm a creative real estate investing investor in Southern California. We train and mentor others throughout the United States of America through our American Mentee Program that we've put together and had for several years. It's a selection process. Yes, it's one-on-one mentoring. Yes, it's true one-on-one mentoring. So we only take on a handful of people, or I should say a selective amount of people. So, if it works out, great. If it doesn't, maybe later is, there's good money and bad money because there are hard costs that are associated with it, but it's the best investment you'll probably ever make in your entire life because you're going to learn so much. You're going to learn, not just learning something like learning a trade. You're learning a secret. You're learning things that others do not understand or don't want to understand or don't want to do or try to do and they can't do it or get burned out or just not their cup of tea at the end of the day. And that's creative real estate investing. Because once you learn it, as I always say, and I repeat it over and over and over, that it's right here. Once it's in your mind, nobody can take it away. Unless the government starts doing the German thing, doing whatever, and start reading your mind and start, extracting thoughts from your brain. I was kidding. It don't matter. They're going to know about it anyways, I would imagine. But it's awesome, right? Especially in this day and age with AI, I get it and all that good stuff, right? But nothing's going to replace you or me. It could be a robot, it could be a clone, it could be a cyborg or whatever, right? And plug into your thoughts and all that good stuff. But nobody's going to have those little nuances as God makes, because God doesn't make junk. He makes awesome rock and rollness. That's you, that's me, and everybody on this planet, right? To be individually different, but yet united together in one fashion or another, because it's the DNA, right? We're all connected in one way. We're all connected to the universe, connected to God, and all that good stuff. And that's how, just depends on how you tap into those frequencies and how you tap into your life and what you bring into your life and all that good stuff, right? But other than that, it is about the art of, or to say the AMP Live method, right? What do I mean by that? What does that even mean? Why should you even care? It's about, yes, negotiating. It's about understanding the seller and providing those solutions in a way so you can, yes, get a contract and be able to help them out and provide their solutions and, yes, make some money for your skill sets, right? Super important stuff. Let me go ahead and put my mug up here just so I can have the appearance here and straight eye to eye at the end of the day. And then we'll get into it's Pulse of Real Estate. So it's Friday highlights. So we're just going to go through a bunch of stuff today. Boom, slam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Check it out. If you like it, go for it. If you want to be part of it, awesome. You want to reach out, DM, chat. I know Facebook is doing some stuff with the chat thingy. Yeah. So, but either I'll comply or I won't at the end of the day, or just hit some other platforms. But this is being streamed live on several platforms to make sure that we're good to go here. Yep, I think we got some YouTube, some TikTok, some LinkedIn, Facebook. Can't do the Facebook groups because you got to do those individually. But let's make sure that we're got the sound down, got the video on. It's already 7 minutes, so let's rock. All righty, so let's move to the next one here. Friday highlights is always awesome and cool, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and we are hitting it hard here with deals. June and July, deals day, deals month, I should say, right? So it's a good inflow. We appreciate anybody and everybody who's sending us deals. We're doing our best to underwrite them and get you back an offer or JV or run them down through our database as well throughout the United States of America. If we could bring up a buyer. I'm not, I'll be honest with you, I'm not into the daisy chain thing. We have been always with the one-on-one mentoring program because we're papered up, we trust each other, and it doesn't matter where you're at in the United States of America with our mentees and students, and we work together, right? So those are usually the only people that we JV with or work deals together because we're both on the contracts 9 times out of 10, right? At least for the first a certain amount of deals that we agree on, and then we move from there. So don't really like, sending out deals to other people. Yes, maybe do an NC&D, and that's fine. But if a deal goes out, we have no control over what happens to it, right? We have no control over someone who says, yes, I'm a dispo guy or dispo gal, or, I got a bunch of buyers over here and this and that, right? And it's if someone gets a hold of the deal, they can blast it. They can do whatever the hell they want. Like I said, I've had deals come back twice so far in the last couple of decades where we send out a deal, we own it, we control it, sub to, we're either first it goes to our A list, and if nobody buys it, we open it up to the open market, and then we rock it, and then we will blast it out, and because it don't matter if someone tries to circumvent, doesn't matter, we control and own the property. Doesn't matter what happens there, but we've sent them out before, and then they come back with our, marketing package with our logos wiped out, and they put their logos in there. They marked it up 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand and try to sell us our own freaking deal, right? Now, that happened to us twice already, right? And I'm sure it's happened to others if you've heard this story or you're in the business long enough, or even if it can happen. It don't matter. If you're in the business 2 months, it can happen to you. That's just life. That's the what I like to call controlled chaos of the universe, right? Same thing with sales. You either will get in our program or you get into the business and boom, you're rocking and rolling, kicking ass, and all of a sudden you fall on your face. There's a long ass spread of time where, oh my God, what's happening? And you're deciding whether you're going to move forward in the business. Did you do something wrong? Do I change from this? Do I go to buy and hold? Do I go to fix and flip? Should I learn sub two? Should I do wholesale, hotel, all this other bullshit, and second guessing yourself. It happens to me, happens to the best of us, right? That's why you got to stay focused, super focused. and hyper focus on one thing and just go for it until it explodes and does what it needs to do. Obviously I'm stubborn too. I can keep hammering and bumping my head up against the wall. Boom, 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 boom. See some traction, move forward. And sometimes got to say, hey, just got to give it up. Say, I'm done, man. What's up? Let's try something else, do something different. But yeah, always moving and trying to do something different if it's not working until it does work, or go and get some help, right? I think that's where humility comes in, especially for me in the last 3-4 years, right? Humility, it's okay, ask for help. But I'm not the type of person who's going to go ask for help on Facebook, right? I'm going to talk to some people, build some relationships, talk to some people, do some lunch, take a little more time. It's just going, I need some help on this. Can you help me with this on Facebook? No, because you're going to get a bunch of jabronis who know what they're doing and don't know what they're doing. And maybe, it just for me, it's just not my thing. I'd rather go personally to someone who, and have a relationship. They say no, that's the worst they can say is no, right? But some pro tips there at the end of the day. Probably thinking, well, where is this even going? Where is this all going, right? Well, it's Friday highlights. It's a pulse of real estate right now. Let's do some sponsorship stuff for VIP Execs Realty, Lending and Investments, and Luxury Properties. Step into excellence. That is our brokerage partner associates for the AMP Live. The AMP Live Creator Real Estate Investing Accelerator, which you can see on the screen right here. Boink, boink, boink. There's also a QR code down there on the corner that you can jump on. And that says yes. Is that a typo? No. That's $147, right? That's McDonald's dinner right there. $147. Okay. Jump on it. Take advantage of it. I believe it's going to be gone at midnight. Unless I say pull it tonight, then it's gone. Pull it anytime we want to or I want to. But I'm going to let it ride till Sunday midnight. Take advantage of it. Come aboard. Now that's obviously for do it yourself. Watch the video. And it's all about kind of like how we've been doing it, kind of like the mentoring program, but not really. I should say more like the cream rises to the top. People are serious. We can see they're in there watching the videos. We can see they're doing stuff. They're answering the questions. They're reaching back. Hey, what about this? What about that? I see this. I see that. What about, there's a deal here. Bringing deals on Wednesday for deal analysis, being there for the trainings, or just getting involved, or, hey, I'm going to reach out to you and have a chit chat. Say, hey, you know what? This is what I like to do. Why don't we do this? And that's the beauty about real estate, right? Because you can create whatever you want to create at the end of the day. If you see potential, you go for it. There's a deal, you move, speed the lead, right? You smell it, you sense it, and it's opportunity to go for it. Same thing for people or people like yourself, right? And that means opportunity. Man, this person's on fire, man or woman, doesn't matter. Hey, you're asking questions. I can see what you want because I've been there, right? I understand that. And others have been where you're at or want to be or eventually want to get to. And I recognize certain things. You're going, okay, cool. Hey, let's rock and roll. And if it's a good fit, then boom, we'll move to the next phase. Because obviously there's the AMP Live Creator. There's the AMP Live Creator Real Estate Investing Accelerator, right? Boom, there it is. So there's two paths. Like I said, there's two pathways to getting into this business with us or with anybody, just getting into the business and to be able to create some wealth, right? First one is this one, right? And I think I said it before. I don't know if I read it out. I'll just read it real quick and share it with you. I'm actually going to put it in the chat as well, I believe, or is it already in there? Okay, that's the one that's in there is the $12,997 program, which is this program. And then there's going to be the $1,997 program that is available as well. So both of these are going to, and there is no, I put in a limit on it. So I think we took the limit off the check mark thingy or whatever you do when you do that stuff on the cart. I don't do it. Swede takes care of all that good stuff. So I'm going to put the pathways here, 1 and 2, and then number 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and move forward and start rocking and rolling here. Just talking about Friday highlights, Pulse of Real Estate, what's going on. I'm going to go through a bunch of slides. I'm going to share that with you, and they're going to shut it down. And we'll be back tomorrow because tomorrow, obviously, is supposed to be a training, right? Training is usually a training and a field day. There's a lot of stuff coming down the wire. So my schedule's been kind of jacked up because I'm supposed to do this and supposed to do that. And then, sellers are calling, and then mentees are calling and coaching and all that good stuff. So it's just been kind of chaotic, but it's cool because that's what we wanted or what I wanted based off of this program. Because it's kind of like I had a conversation with an associate partner of mine. Man, feels like I was in April and May, like I was a mad scientist, right? Stuck in the dungeon, just creating the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, right? And now it's here, and obviously we have the American Mentee program, and stuff's coming to the table, right? So the goal is to get it out there. We got to share it with the world and share our mission, and that's the whole goal. And that's why I'm here going live, because we are celebrating 250 years, a group, I should say 250 years of freedom. Time to own your piece. Time to own your piece. That's right. Own your piece of the pie, or there's gold in them there hills. So let's go get it. And that's what I'm doing today, honoring that legacy with something that's been on my heart, been on my heart for a long time. The Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator is now open, and I've created 2 pathways specifically for Americans who are ready to own property and build wealth. Path number 1 is the one you're seeing right there at $147, do-it-yourself, self-study. Everything you need to start investing in real estate creatively, subject to, and this is awesome because it's all about subject to, seller finance, and wholesale. Even sprinkle down some lease options and rent-to-own type stuff just to dangle that carrot there to get you fired up. So I'll be over-delivering always, hopefully, as much as we possibly can. And this is at an Alex Hormozzi style. Remove the excuse price. You can go to presale.amplivemedia.com. I'm actually going to put these links inside of the chat, and they're already in the post. And we got pathway number 2, which is $1,997. That's the best deal in town. That's live group coaching. So if you've been watching on the sidelines, you're going, I was thinking about it, $2,000. Oh, I'm not sure, blah, blah, blah. You know, excuses. You can have excuses or results. You can't have both, right? So make up your mind. You can, and trying to do it, trust me, I guarantee it happens every time. People try to move forward, do this, do that, do that. They end up spending 2, 3, 4, 5 times or 10 times more than it would if this would have came aboard and invested. And then they would have made their money back in 30, 60, 90 days. As long as they show up to the damn party and do what needs to be done. Or it's usually like some people, 6 months, 2 years, usually 2 years, they'll end up popping back up and things of that nature, right? Okay, check it out. Oh, that's cool. That was just a little note that came up. Young man's taking his kids. Everybody's graduating too, so I forget about that. The graduation thing and everything's happening. Again, chatting with my associate. Oh, geez, I remember when so-and-so was this old, this tall, and all of a sudden they're this tall and they're graduating from high school and they're going to go to college and shit. Going, man, that's when mortality starts kicking in. So when I was younger, never thought about death, never thought about mortality, never thought about, man, you know what, shit, I'm gonna live. I'm not going to worry about it. What I got to worry about? But you start, you get to an older age, you start reflecting on stuff, and hey, you still got to stay positive. So I'm like this, right? So people go, even in this business, I'm too old to get in this business. No, you're not. I'm 50, 60, 70 years old. Who gives a shit, right? Or I'm too young to get in this business. I'm only 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 20, 25 years old. So what? It's the best time. Grind now, shine later. You want to be a multimillionaire in your 20s? You can do it. You want to be a multimillionaire in your 30s? You can do it. But you got to be headstrong. You got to understand the finances, the money, and have that leap of faith and a work ethic, and have a little bit of a half a brain in there, right? You got to be super smart. I'm not super smart, right? I'm not a Harvard lucky guy or anything like that, or even a Yale guy or even a college guy, right? I'm a rock and roll guy, right? So if I show you some of the pictures of stuff I used to do or what I did when I was younger, you'd be going, oh my God, that's crazy. That's funny, maybe. I don't know. Just depends. All right. So path number 2, 1997 live coaching. Work with me live every single week. That's right. Work with Erick Jimenez, myself, live every single week. Real deals, real feedback, real accountability. You can go to charter.amplivemedia.com/charter page light. I don't even got to say it because it's in the chat. It's in the post down below. If you need the link, ask for it. I'll get it for you. Easy peasy, or someone will get it for you. Just reach out. The DMs are going in, but not able to respond back on my account. But you can go to Instagram, or if you have my number, or if there's a number on one of the pages, shoot a text, do a call, do whatever you need to do. Or if you're already in our ecosystem, then just reach out. And we'll respond back and get you all locked in. Now, America, so here's the third. There's only, we start off as, hey, there's 2 pathways, right? for the Amplified Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. That was the first one, and then the second one. And now we have, obviously, it's always been there, but it's the third pathway, right? And that third pathway is if you want one-on-one mentoring. One-on-one mentoring, the American Mentee Program. It is an application only. You can apply at geterickpaullive.com/application. Just kidding, application. For one-on-one, it's the only true one-on-one mentoring program of its kind, or on the planet, I should say, because I know what we do and what I do when we're helping people, right? We're almost like a life coach, a creative real estate investing coach. We're literally working and rocking deals. 90% of our work is going to be to help you get those deals, but yet we're still doing awesome splits with you, and you're learning this stuff because the whole goal is to get you up and running so you can do it and get better and better at your closing ratios and helping you build your business, whether it's a mom and pop shop or you want to scale that sucker up like a private real estate investing firm. All right. But America is built by owners. Let's get you into that club. Yes, let's get you into that club, because that's really what it is. And I like that, because the one-on-one mentoring works for me, and I like that and enjoy it. And the one-to-many, a little different, a little more disconnected, more moving parts and, workflows and lead magnets and internet marketing and blah, 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 blah. But not saying anything bad about it, because it's awesome. When I first started, I wanted to be an internet marketer, not a real estate investor. I said, I want to do internet marketing. I love that shit. I was kind of like that nerd Russell Brunson. He said he used to collect stuff. He'd collect all this marketing and books and papers and internet stuff and collect it and study it, and just gobble it up. And then he became that shit, right? I'm not gonna lie, when I was probably 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, which is kind of weird. And back in the day, they'd have these magazines. Let's call this a magazine, right? But it was like a magazine. I don't know, rock and roll. I used to subscribe to the Rock and Roll Hit Parader and all kinds of other crazy things like that. But then there'd be other ones that my mom would get, Home and Garden or whatever the hell. I'm not sure what it was, but there were magazines. Or you go to a doctor and you're looking at stuff and you're reading stuff. Instead of reading articles, I'd go all the way to the back of the magazine, and they'd have these let me see. Let me put this over here. They'd have these ads right in the back. This is blank, obviously, right? But scan that QR code since I see it right there. Come on, jump on there. It's $147. It's gonna be the best $147 you'll ever spend, or the $1,997 if you want that live coaching love. Okay, the one-on-one mentoring program, which I was going to get into right now, but I got on a tangent here about marketing, and and I'm getting to that. I'm going to come full circle back to the one-on-one mentoring, how you can sign up. I'm going to pop some links inside of the chat, and why it is important, super important, why everybody who gets into the business eventually should have a mentor and start rocking and rolling. And yes, it is pay to play. There's no such thing as free. All right. But I used to go and look at these, and it'd be a bunch of ads, classified ads. It'd be about business and making money and, building a chicken coop or a bird cage and get my thing for $5 or send $1 to learn this and that. It was the internet. That was basically how the internet is now, right? Everybody's selling this, sign up for this, $1 for that, trial this, trial that, low ticket to medium ticket to high ticket to upsells to downsells and all that good stuff. I get it. That shit's been around since the Dan Kennedy days, right? That's what was called direct mail, right? Or direct marketing. And yes, that is even with the days of network marketing, multi-level marketing, because all those people, the army of people who work in those type of businesses, it's direct sales. They build an army of direct sales people to sell the product. And then eventually, if it gets big enough, you'll see their products, right? Yeah, Walmart and different stores that it blows up, right? And the only way that's happening, and they're making a bunch of money while that's happening too, right? Which is cool. So I always thought that was awesome. But that's how I used to do, to study that stuff. And then I literally would, take out the pages, and I actually got my little allowance and paid for a couple things here and got some books and some things, but I didn't know how to make it work because it was all based on direct mail. Run the ads, direct mail, spend for some money on that stuff, and then you got to send out the package when they send your $2, $4, $5 or whatever it is, or $20 for the package. Then you got to put it together and send it to them, which I thought was cool. But man, I'm a young guy trying to figure that stuff out. Shit, I didn't even have the money to do it. I did it a couple of times, and and I tried it out, but then it started as things started. I got at the cusp when things started changing, when direct mail was very, very expensive, like thousands of dollars, tens of thousands, millions of dollars, right? And kind of like how people spend all kinds of money. They'll spend hundreds of thousands, or a day or a week on advertising through pay-per-click and Google and Facebook and all that good stuff, right? And YouTube. But they know the numbers, right? Spend $1, you get 3. Spend $1, heck, you get, if you're getting more than that, that's awesome. But with that said, that's what one-on-one mentoring is all about, right? For me anyways, is so you can skip all that stuff, right? Someone's got to pay for it. Someone's got to learn it. Someone's got to gobble it up. And that's usually your mentor or your coach. Now, a coach is there to help you, like, with, maybe sports or music, and going, okay, yeah, let's work on that. Let's coach you on getting better. But then when you have a mentor, it's different because it's a deep dive. It's different. It's about getting into that person and working with them to help them hit their the highest points, and it's get them to the point where they can, perform a lot higher than they ever thought they would. And that's by believing in them and seeing stuff that you won't see in yourself, but I will see in you, or we see in you, to bring that out. And that's the awesome thing, because obviously, we all got to go through it. I got to go through it. And when I got started, there was none of that. I had to be my own cheerleader. I had to be my own, hey, high fiver, that worked out awesome. Or you know what, that freaking sucked. What do you do? How are you going to change it? What needs to happen? Boom, you hit a fence, you hit a wall, you shiny object. Let's try this. Let's try that. Let's do this. Let's do that. And spending and still working a full-time job, and 3 children and a wife, and trying to just do the family thing, and then go, man, I got to figure this thing out. Once I found out it was real, anyways, right? But that's what we're here to do, is to help you with that. Okay, so right there, scan that QR code. That's for the first pathway. The second pathway, like I mentioned, is going to be, I believe, right here. I think I have it. I'm just going to put it up here. Do I have it? Boom, there it is. Look at that nice juicy graphic. Thank you, Sweden, for putting that together. $1,997, right? To scratch out the 50. I'm going to leave it open all the way till Sunday at midnight, whether it's 1 or 5 or 50 or 500 or 5 zillion, kabillion, jillion, doesn't matter, right? $1,997. So, this is, it is what it is. And that's without the $13,000 price tag, because after that, yes, if I feel confident where we're at and I feel good about it, because I want to take on, this is automated, so it's a little bit different. And this has live coaching with it, right? Meaning you're going to get live coaching. You're going to get me once a week. I'm going to help you build your business. We're going to analyze your deals on Wednesdays and all that good stuff. Support is on Tuesday. We got to rock and roll. If we get something and you're really hitting it, and you're rocking and rolling, you're on fire, then we will step in and we'll work with you. I don't care where you're at in the United States of America. As I always say, from the East Coast to the West Coast and everything in between, we will work with you. I'll get on the phone. We'll get on the phone. Our team will get on the phone. You're going to be introduced to VIP execs, realty, lending, and investments. We'll get you qualified. So in case you want to do some hard money and some rock and roll type of fix and flips or buy and holds or DSRs, any of that stuff, we're going to at least see where you're at with that. Okay. And, if you're good to go, awesome. You're just going to move quicker. If you have money to rock and roll and invest in your business, you're going to move quicker, period. If you're doing all the elbow grease and, you're investing a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there, and just trying to test it out, that's cool. Hey, congratulations on at least getting started. You've taken the first or second, third step. I commend you for doing so. That's a lot braver than most people in the United States of America, because they're afraid to do so, or they talk themselves out of it, right? Because they're super analytical. And they go, man, I don't know if I can do that. Well, the statistics are this. I say, fuck the statistics at the end of the day, right? They're just freaking numbers. I've never believed in statistics, at all, and none of any of that bullshit. Because at the end of the day, we're supporters of autism, right? And then when they talk about statistics of this and statistics of what's going to happen with a child who has autism and all that good stuff, it just depends on where you're at in the spectrum. Some people know about it, some people don't, and that's where our job is to help educate others. And at the same token, we support that. And I've always been, hey, they're labels. You can put a label on anything, put a label on anybody. You can have statistics about anything and then statistics about whatever. All right. They're all man-made bullshit at the end of the day, right? So it has nothing to do with God, because God does awesome stuff. God rocks miracles when you don't think that they're going to happen, and all of a sudden, boom, miracles happen, right? And it's true. That's just the way of the universe. It's the way of God. It's the way this planet runs. What I like to call controlled chaos, right? To a degree, anyways. But super powerful stuff. But I want to share this with you. So right now, yes, is there a QR code? Let me get a QR code. What are we doing? 30 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon. So I'm gonna get me some dirty pizza. Not a big fan of pizza unless it's juicy. It has a big old, tons of cheese and awesome dough. There is a place called Barrow's Pizza at one time when I was growing up. There was another one, I can't remember what it was called, but it was awesome. Big ass pizzas too. And let me see, we're gonna put this up here. Here we go. So you can scan that QR code right there. Right there, boom. Scan the QR code for the Amplified Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. Limited time bonuses as well. Adding stuff that most others are not going to, be privy to. So definitely get aboard and jump in, show up to the party. We're going to see that, and then we're all right, we're back. Here we go. Are we back? Let me see. Let me check. Is it there? Oh, we're stirring it. Stir the internet. Is it going to work? Okay, cool. All right, but scan that QR code right there. This is all about close your first deals. Yes, in real estate. Look, we're working with a young man right now. He was on our live today. Okay. Now, a lot of times I'll throw out an invite or two and throw it out there. Boom. People show up. People don't show up. People show up. But when they do, awesome. It's always rock and roll gold, because it's all about truth, right? Kind of like Amp Live TV, or it is like Amp Live TV. It's raw, it's real, and we stand for truth. But this young man is, less than about 3 weeks or so, right? We met. He's moving forward. Joined the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. The same token, we're getting ready to write offers. First LOI is going out. Offers are going out. Then we're going to eventually, go belly to belly. So I'm excited about that, because he is in Southern California. So that is like the awesome thing that what my investor, or I should say my mentor did with me. I actually got to go out with him, and we're going to go out together, right? So if you're in Southern California, we will go out. We will lock up properties, and we're gonna celebrate, make some money, and all that good stuff when we do this. But you got to show up to the party, and you got to do what needs to be done. If you don't, then hey, you're not gonna make any money, right? You're just gonna have, put on the shelf, as most people do, right? They invest in something, put it on the shelf, and then don't do shit with it, because there's so much noise and so much stuff. No, we hyper focus, we rock and roll. I will be in your corner. I'm gonna motivate you. I'm gonna fire you up, and that's usually for the one-on-one mentoring program, because we're going in deep with that. The Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, like I mentioned earlier, is do-it-yourself, self-paced, do whatever you like to do. This right here is live coaching. It is self-paced, but if you want that love, just show up, and we're going to do that with you live as we're coaching with you. And if things and if you stick out, we're gonna pull you out of the crowd and go, hey, we want to talk with you, want to work with you, because I believe that you're probably going to be a great testimonial. We're going to make some money with you, and then we'll move forward, and we'll eventually get you into the one-on-one mentoring program if you've signed up for the $1,900, and we will credit you the $1,997 towards your one-on-one mentoring program for the American Mentee program, which is awesome. So can't make it any fairer, can't make it any better than any of that stuff, right? So you can scan that QR code right there, boink, there it is, and now we're just going to go through the pulse of real estate. What's going on? Now, obviously, you can get a hold of this. This is part of the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. It is the Amp Live Standard Vault. Everything you need to close your first deal. Contracts and LOIs, right? LOIs are going out. Contracts are going out. Seller scripts, deal checklist. Yes, your standard, your operating procedures. This, I like to call them processes. Deal analyzer tools. We're giving those all to you as well. affiliate resources. Yes, that means, hey, PropStream is a batch, is a deal machine. Which ones is a property radar? Is a good one for pre-foreclosures, and their data is pretty good. As far as, they only give you like 250, I think, right, for the skip tracing and stuff like that. PropStream give you tons of data. I know they bought a batch, so they have, the skip tracing is not too bad. It's pretty good. It's not very good on the pre-foreclosures unless it's gotten better. Deal machine's pretty awesome too, because it's good for like the postcard stuff. Just be careful, because they'll nickel and dime the shit out of you if it's not done right, and some things are checked off, and all of a sudden you're like, shit, what happened? $600? How the hell did that happen? And then, no, I don't want credit, right? I give my money back, and I'll decide how I want to market my shit, right? And that's what we did. And we had to go through a little bit of that. But I said, it's okay, man. We'll test it out. Give us the credit. And they finally fixed the thing that wouldn't check. You check it off and it go back. Check it off and go back. So when you run a campaign and you save some stuff, then it starts sending out a bunch of postcards. Like, what the fuck is that? Right? But but it was cool because it proved that it worked, right? So the postcards work. We got some responses and things of that nature. Obviously, you had to run them through the campaigns and our CRM and stuff like that. But I like to be able to control, to see and test first before you start blasting out a bunch of stuff. But other than that, their data is pretty good. I like it because it goes deep. It has a lot of data points. Their pre-foreclosure is a little old, kind of like Batch and some of the other ones, right? Other than that, all the other stuff is cool. They even got their little app where, you're driving around or drive for dollars, boom, boom, scan, build a driving for dollars. You can do it on your phone, or you can actually physically be out and doing it. But again, if you're on a budget, that can scale, it can stack up, and you're going, oh shit, I already spent that much money. And you better be good at closing, because if you're not good at closing and your closing ratios aren't good, you're going to invest in all that good stuff, and it's going to cost you more money than it needs to, right? So start off small. I say work on yourself first. That's what we do here at the American Mentee Program or AMP Live, and anything we do in any of our programs is we work on you first. We got to make sure you're a badass first, right? Make sure you can kick ass in the ring, and then we go after, technology deals and platforms and all that good stuff. Because look, technology is only 20%, 80% is you, as far as I like to call it. You can call it 100%, you call it whatever. But I say 80% is you, 20% is tech. Tech, you can have all the deal flow you want, but if you suck at closing, it don't matter. You got lots of deal flow and no deals, right? And maybe some offers. And you got to understand and know how to underwrite. You got to understand, know how to, what you're going to be offering, and your CMAs, or, like they call it a comparable market analysis in the real estate world, right? Others call it ARV comps, for simple stuff. But you need to be proficient in those things first, and then start dumping money into leads and start growing your business that way. So all that stuff, yes, there'll be affiliate resources, things of that nature. Maybe we're a part of some of these affiliates, make a couple of bucks and all that good stuff. So it's all fully disclosed. No guesswork, no confusion, just execution is what I believe in at the end of the day. Okay. You can also scan the QR code. That's for the $1,997. Yes, we'll rock it again. I'm not going to lie. I think it's too damn cheap. And, and usually I'm the one that's like, let's do this, let's do that. And, they got to talk me into doing shit. And, it is what it is. We'll leave it like, we're just going to let it roll. And it's not going to be like that forever. I guarantee you that. All right. So this is awesome. This is the Real Estate Domination Investor Meetup every Thursday, 2 p.m. You can sign up right there. Get in there, get in our ecosystem. It's Creative Real Estate Domination Live Networking Meetup, where I share with you how to dominate your area, how to find those deals, how to work those deals, how to become a badass at rocking and rolling and negotiating with the AMP Live method. The mission is submission, and credibility, how to build that credibility with your peers, with your investors, with the agents, and yes, most importantly, with the sellers. All right. Keep on rolling here. I'm just going to drop tons of slides today. AMP Live Media, rock and roll in all you do. That's my phrase and my catchphrase, along with In God We Trust, as well as a couple other things that I believe in, which is America and God. Once again, you can scan that QR code right there. There's our awesome, beautiful, cool graphic with bonuses and all that good stuff, right? Yes, it is a $12,997 program for $1,997. Our American Mentee program, yes, it's 50% off, and that is for the end of the quarter And those are hard costs. That's just hard cost, right? Just to work with myself and us to help you get up and running with the done with you type program. If you need done for you, then that's going to be yes, negotiating, which is the most important part. Like I said, if you really need to get the deals, it's going to be done with you. If you're okay with building stuff on the back end, websites, and all that other good stuff, like the young man who was on the Amplified Real Estate show earlier, he understands the IT and all that good stuff, right? He can set up that stuff. So, it doesn't need the done with you. Okay. Done for you is going to be enough because we'll show, and you get everything you need to show you how to do it. And if you get stuck, you talk to our team and we'll help you out, blah, blah, blah. And so you're never stuck. But if it's done, there are people like, man, I don't want to set up a CRM and lead generation pages and workflows and emails and texts and getting approved and this and that and that and that, building a whole system to lead generate. And, then you're going to tap into pay-per-click, you can tap into direct mail, into some door knocking, surfing for deals, driving for dollars, all that other stuff that goes with the business. We work with you on all of that. Obviously, you got to take care of the hard costs. And after the second quarter, it's going to double. And that's for 2026. Every year it goes up. And it's not for inflation, believe in any of that shit. It's because as we take on more and more people, it does cost more money. There's staff, there's things we have to do. And it just makes more sense to us. And it does qualify the rock and roller that comes aboard. Usually they're business people. They have businesses, and not saying that we've taken on newbies, and it's okay because they believe them. They believe they can get it done. And they got the funds to say, let's rock. And it works out great because they're there to just gobble up the information and they're hungry as shit. So that's awesome. All right. So let's keep on rocking and rolling here. The charter spots are open again this week, right? $1,997, or you can make payments. Man, it's just like this keeps getting better and better, right? 3 payments of $747. What's your excuse at the end of the day, right? I know people who smoke and do Starbucks. That's probably $700 to $800 a month just on Starbucks, which is, obviously not too much creamer and all kinds of other stuff, right? And tutti frutti shit they put in there if you ask for it. I get it. It's delicious for some people, but I'm not a Starbucks fan. Tastes like I don't know what shit tastes like, but maybe that's what it tastes like. I'm just kidding. All right. But I got my own coffee here, right? I was going to break out my Koo mug. The boss bought me something. I don't know. It says, what does it say? The man, the myth, the legend, right? That's right. So, got to have people in your corner. All right. Anyways, so there it is. Easy peasy stuff, right? You can go, let me put the QR code back up there forever. Boom. QR code. Take advantage of it. You can go forward, backwards, and watch this. And yeah, what are these for? We're here to share and to get the word out to others, right? So buy a house without a bank. Is it possible? Of course. You can go here and take a look. Now, I believe I think I brought up the page. I was going to share the page with you. But right here, this is the same thing. The charter package, the charter program, whatever it is, the Amplified Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator program is what it's called officially. You can buy a house without a bank. That's right. Can you negotiate without an agent? Yes. Without a broker? Yes. Do you need permission from the bank? No. Using leverage? Yes. Private money? Yes. Whatever. If there's a way to work it, we're going to share that with you because it's called Creative Real Estate Investing. And then we've added even more by adding VIP Execs Realty Lending and Investments, right? For the lending aspect. So you can fix it up if you want to, or you can flip it. You can cash flow with a DSCR loan. If you're going to fix it up and then resell it, you can list it with, VIP execs. If you got a property that you want, maybe they didn't take your 70% on the dollar wholesale deal, but then, you go to 75 and 80 for some sub 2 and some seller finance, and it's still not working. Well, then go ahead and do a novation and get it at, 80, 85, 90 cents on the dollar if you can. And if there's money in it, depending on the cost to get it sold, and if there's any work to clean it up and things of that nature, it's got to make sense for you, right? And then you still can list it with what? VIP Execs Realty Lending and Investments, right? So they're your partners, your lending partners. They're also going to be your partners in dispo and unloading properties the traditional way. as well as your untraditional way, which is through the AMP Live Creator Real Estate Investing Accelerator, AMP Live, the American Mentee Program, and obviously AHA, Americans Helping Americans, as we rock and roll. And this is, we're at 44 minutes, man. Okay, we're just going to go with a power slide. How about we just get into power slides here, right? Some of the marketing that's available that you can repurpose that we like to use when we go out in the field, or you're using social media here, right? We buy houses, ugly ones too. Sell your house fast, awesome, juicy stuff, right? That's some extra slides there. Obviously, you can take advantage of that right there. And we'll keep on rolling here to get your first deal in 30 days. You betcha. And you can, here it is, right? Can't do 1999 all at once. What's your excuse, right? You can have excuses or results, not both. Payment plan, look at that. Payment 1, payment 2, payment 3, easy peasy, $747 today, full access. And yes, you get full access right out of the gate, right? It locks your price right in. 30 days later, $747. 60 days later, $747. Total of $2,241 versus $12,997 regular. You still save $10,756 buckaroos, right? Module 6 alone, wholesale assignment returns $5,000 to $20,000 per deal, right? When you do this, and we do this with you, the program pays for itself on the first deal, okay? So it's a no-brainer. Now, the opportunity most investors are completely missing, right? Elevated rates have rate locked millions of homeowners. So yeah, we're talking about the 2.8, 3.1, 3.1 interest rates, 5.5% interest rates that are out there, right? They're not on Zillow. They're not calling agents. They're waiting, right? They're waiting for who? They're waiting for you. They're waiting for me. They're waiting for us. They're waiting for more motivated, and they are getting more motivated every single month. It's called Subject to existing financing. Subject to existing financing is an awesome, beautiful tool that I love and we love. Is the answer, right? You take over the existing low-rate loan, no mortgage needed. They get out. You get an asset at their rate and not at market rate, right? Module 4 of the Charter Accelerator program, complete sub-2 framework, legal structure, paperwork, closing table, exit strategies. And yes, I've done table closings as well before. Those are awesome when you have an awesome investor that you trust, okay? So I believe it's the best sub-2 market in over 20 years. Erick Jimenez has been investing. Myself has been investing since 2003. So definitely, I'm not going to leave you hanging. No man or woman is left behind. You can scan that QR code and rock and roll. There's a big giant one right there. Scan that sumbut and definitely come aboard. I'm going to keep on rolling here. Maybe for that show, we'll just make it 50 minutes, okay? It's supposed to be 30. What happened? All right, now we got more to chop up and monetize. All right, so you wanted to get a real estate deal. This is your shot. Here it is. There's your shot. There's the QR code. Adjust, adapt, or perish, as they say, is what's going to usually what happens to most people. I say rock and roll instead. The AMP Live American Mentee program is now available, obviously. Let me go ahead and share myself and Miss Al from VIP Execs Realty Lending and Investments. So you can scan that QR code, need access to Southern California right there. You scan the QR code, get access to the MLS in Southern California to hunt deals. You want to do the unicorn stuff and hunt those unicorn agents. Hey, now you got access to it, and we're going to help you with that as well. Now, obviously, every Thursday, this is happening with a free webinar. On Thursdays at 2 p.m., where you can scan that QR code. Well, that's for the AMP Live Accelerator. This is obviously for our Thursday Real Estate Domination meetup. I got a cool graphic for you here, right? Why most people never close a real estate deal. Obviously, it's not because you're not smart. It's not because they're not smart. It's because they never take freaking action. That's it. It's a simple thing. All right, but you need to follow. When you're not taking action, but if you take action, you can take action on the wrong things and do the wrong things. So we're here to help you eliminate that stuff. So you're not. As I was talking with another young man about the rock and roll and come board, we're talking about going right. You can make a right-hand turn and go right, and go for it. I'm going to stay right here and wait for you because I know what's down there, nothing. And human nature, people will go, and they go, and then they come back and say, hey, what do we do? All right, we go this way. Here's where the money's at. This is what we're going to do, and we rock. All right, and then some people who actually are at that point go, no, I'm not going to waste my time. I know what I signed up for. I trust you. Let's go. Leap of faith. What are we doing here, man? I don't want to go that way. If there's nothing down here, fuck, I'm not going to waste my time. I don't want to go. What are we doing? This way. Cool. That's about 1% to 3%. The other 97% will Go that way. All right. Stop watching videos. Are you still watching videos but not closing deals? Done with that. I hate videos. I love reading books, but videos that's just, I don't know, it's hard to absorb. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've done it before when I grabbed the Carlton Sheets program for $19.97 and got the contracts and all the other stuff. And I watched the CDs over and over and over and over and over and over, broke them all down, broke down the deals and go, man, where's the money at? How did they do this shit? It was creative real estate investing. It wasn't here's the money, go to the bank, go to get some hard money. No, it was private dollars, seller finance, lease options, stuff like that was happening. And I go, shit, that's something I didn't even know about. I had to figure it out by watching all the dang videos, but I only did it because I was hungry as shit and I was going to do whatever I needed to turn every stone and check every little thing because I was on a mission. Still on. Now I'm on a different mission. My mission is to help our fellow Americans across the United States of America, right? One American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time. That's our commission. That's our cause and mission, is to help you with your creative real estate investing, help you with real estate in general, to help you open up your eyes in regards to what's available and what's out there, right? Every time I have a conversation, I don't care if you're wholesale or if you've done sub two, even if you've done sub two, I talk to some people, oh my God, I never heard about that. Share that with me. Oh, how did you do that? And there's a lot of people, oh, I've never spent any money or any of my own money on properties and things of that nature. That's cool. Congratulations, right? I think I saw something, I was scrolling, you do the scroll thing, and I saw a post and it said, oh, I just got my first sub two deal. And they started reading it, and then a bunch of people, of course, they can be brutal, right? That's not a sub two deal. That's not this. You need to do this, do that, writing books and shit, with all kinds of stuff. You got all that time. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much, yeah, that's not a sub two, young man, right? Because the young man, what he probably did is like a contract for deed. Didn't even probably do that because he just like, how do I do this so I can get a refi and pull some cash out or this and that or whatever? And I talked to title companies and all this crazy stuff, and they said, what are you doing? What is this? Didn't even have a contract, right? I mean, he had a contract. Well, it doesn't have no control. There's no grant deed, right? There's no grant deed into a trust, even on top of that. So there's no leverage, no control of anything. And then you got to go back and, backpedal on stuff, right? So that's the thing about social media. It's the thing about asking him for information or trying to figure stuff out. Take the time to do it correctly so you can take care of your seller, which is your most important client, most important person in the transaction. Number one, right up here, the seller, over here, the investor, and you are at the bottom of the totem pole. You get paid last. You get everything is last for you. Right? Seller number one. You have an investor number two. You are last. Keep that in mind, and if you do it that way, you'll be fine. All right, that's my little pro tip for you. And for anybody else out there, grab a hold of that if you are looking for some access to the Southern California MLS, which is eventually probably going to be defunct over a period of time. And yes, the Amp Live Real Estate Show with your host, Eric of AHA and Amp Live. I challenge you, jump aboard the American Mentee program right there. That is for the third pathway, okay? The third pathway is one-on-one mentoring, the American Mentee program. Yes, it's $11,997 for the hard cost. Doesn't even take care of my time, but it does take care of the hard cost for the staff and the people and the time for the next 6 to 12 months to help you rock and roll deals with us together. We partner up, we do deals. We're probably doing, like I said, about 70 or 90% of the work for the first couple of deals anyways. My partners and associates say, man, we should not be doing splits the way we do them. We should be higher splits. And yeah, we've adjusted that as well because it's true. Because a lot of times they're like, man, Mentee's not doing what they need to do. We're going to lose the deal. Let's go. Can't be doing that stuff, right? We got to rock and roll together and, kick some butt here and there, or we got to take it down and, hey, you get paid what you get paid, right? So massage and adjust some stuff along the way as you learn, but you can scan that QR code, lock that in right there. That's at 50% off right now. That's actually a do it with you. We're going to work with you for the next 6 to 12 months. We're going to partner up with deals. We're going to show you how to set up your systems and all that good stuff, right? We're going to work with you. We're going to show you the art of the deal. We're going to show you how to go from a lead to an appointment to an offer to a deal to close of escrow to helping you build your acquisitions, your dispo, your lead generation machine. The most important part is myself, my team, is you working on the 80%. That's what the Done With You program, the American Mentee program, part of that is for. Now, if you need more and you need the Done With You, then you know what? Yeah, you need the systems all set up. Because look, I love tech, but I don't have the patience for that. Set up the workflows and the triggers and all that good stuff. Someone goes in and the AI clicks in and it does its thing, and you want it all automated and you want to throw in some AI and all that good stuff, right? I get it. It's a necessity. It's a necessary evil now, right? It has to be done. Otherwise, you're going to be working on paper and spreadsheets and paper and spreadsheets. And you go, oh, what happened to that lead? I didn't follow up with that person. And then you're just letting You're letting money fall through the cracks. You're leaving money on the freaking table. I guarantee it. You're leaving money on the table. Most people do, especially if you're just doing wholesale. And if you're not working your leads and speed to lead, I'll get it tomorrow. I'll get it later on. I'll get it after dinner, whatever. I'll get it when I get back home. No, you need to do it right now. But if you have AI that's going to help you, AI is not going to probably let anything go through the cracks, but AI can break, as we shared with you earlier. But like I said, I can talk about this stuff forever. But yeah, that's 50% off. That's going to go to double. It's going to go $1,900. It says right there, it's crossed out $19,000 after the second quarter. Done With You is going to go to $29,000. I think so. Maybe it's $39,000. Sorry, but that's the full enchilada. I guarantee it. Right? You're going to build your business. You're going to make your money back. 6-12 months as we rocking and rolling, building your business. Right? Because then we're doing wholesale. 10, 15, 20, 25,000 bucks. We're doing fix and flip, 55 to 75 to $100,000. Subject to seller finance, right? Where you're going to obviously make money over a period of time, depending on what the cash flow is. I get the 1% rule and all that good stuff, but if it's $1,000 mortgage, I want $2,000 out of that rent, right? Because I want to be safe. I want to be able to sleep at night. And then stacking that up. If you want to change it and go, hey, let's go assisted living. It's turned into an autism house, maybe a sober living, any of that stuff that you want to do, or maybe multifamily. Whatever it is, because obviously you're going to be investing back into your business. We're going to invest in you. You're going to have access to the hard money, the private money, traditional, the brokerage, as well as helping you build your own private bank of money to be able to do deals. But you got to have credibility for all that good stuff, and that's where we come in. So yeah, you're probably thinking, oh, $10,000, $12,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 is a lot. No, not when we're helping you make the money that you're going to make when you're doing this, right? And so it's a no-brainer. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. I wasn't going to wrap with that, but it is the third, right? It is the third pathway to rock and rollness, the rock and roll of Ayatollah. All right, so let's keep on rolling here. I guess we're going to make this a whole 3 minutes. We'll make it a whole hour, right? So the Amplified Real Estate Investing Meetup, okay? This is every Thursday as well. This is every Thursday, 2 p.m., one-on-one, right? Amp Live networking session. You're going to meet myself and yes, if I can get Allie on here, she is the broker record. She's not broker record. She is the broker for VIP Execs Realty Lending and Investments and Luxury Properties, Step into Excellence, as well as her team. So introduce you to her team and whoever's available. You'll be able to talk to them, meet with them. You'll have access to them so you can, run numbers to buy properties, fix properties, and all that good stuff. We're running them, as you start building your business, you're going to have that relationship that we're bringing to you. Our resources will become your resources. Our stories will become your stories. And eventually you're going to have your own stories and you're going to build more resources and you're going to network, as you move forward into this business, right? All right, I think we're all done here. And I'm not going to share that because that's no big deal. Maybe what is this? Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay, so Amp Live is a Saturday show, right? It's not today, it's tomorrow. So tomorrow's training is going to cover why this is the best sub-2 market in 20 years, a live deal walkthrough with the sub-2 fix and flip calculator, and I'm going to break out the wholesale calculator that we just wrapped up with a nice juicy skin, or beautiful skin, I should say, or for me anyways, it's cool. The 30-day challenge, module by module breakdown, I'm going to share that with you and what you get with the Amplified Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. And what else? How to find motivated sellers before anyone else does, which is going, well, hey, how is that even possible? How are you going to do that? You can watch free live. All right. The charter spots open all weekend, which is what I just mentioned. $1,997 for for the Amplified Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. You can jump on the payment plan, $747 every month. I'll put this QR code right there. Boink, scan the QR code, take advantage of it. Once again, like, love, and share. Appreciate you. I'll probably wrap it up with God bless you with abundance, prosperity, health, and wealth. I'll put my mug up here as I get ready to close this all out. And I believe it's here. There it is. And our Friday highlights, helping fellow Americans across the United States of America. Let me put up my cool captions here for the real estate show, make it a little bigger. Then I want to run a little ticker on the bottom, which is pretty cool, right? Oh, here we go. Oops, connection lost. Now we're back, right? VIP Execs Realty and Lending, step into excellence, right? Step into excellence. It's sponsored by VIP Execs. You can hashtag VIP Execs, hashtag VIP Execs, and get some information on what they do. You can also hashtag Get Erick Paul Live, hashtag Get Erick Paul Live for all my videos and all that stuff's out there. Taking advantage of it. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's cool. Maybe it's boring here and there. Real estate is exciting to me. It should be exciting to you because once you get the bug, it never goes away. All righty. So let me go ahead and wrap this up. On a good note, tomorrow we'll be back. Saturday, deals, deals, deals. And my goal is to help you rock and roll deals together. You don't know how awesome it is to get your first check and to be able to show your family that check, or your wife or your cousin or somebody, or you. Just maybe keep it to yourself. It's cool. You'll cash that some buck. And then what I want you to do is go do something you've never, ever done before. And don't look at the pay. Don't look at the receipt. Go take your family to dinner for whatever reason. And probably thinking, oh, man, would you sell some drugs or something? What'd you do? Get a settlement or something? I'm hearing everybody getting settlements these days. and go spend $300, $400, $500 on a dinner. Maybe you've only spent $150 on a check somewhere. Go spend double, $250. Go somewhere where you always wanted to take your significant other, your mother, your friend, or whatever the hell it is, and go do it. Maybe it's, you don't want to do a cruise or anything. Not right now. You want to build up because, you do a lot with $5,000 in your marketing business, right? But do something cool that you've never done, right? And don't look at the receipt, and then let's put the rest back into your business. And start scaling up and start rocking and rolling and start getting more of those checks as you start building your business, and certainty and stability of having the deal flow, working the deal flow. And then eventually as you grow, if that's what you want to do, then you can start hiring out the right people. A lot of people go, I'm going to hire some people because I don't want to call. Bad idea, right? It's great if it's a good company, but you're not going to know. There's good companies and there's more bad companies than there is good. 1%, I say. 1% is good when they're doing that type of stuff, or even software, right? They build software and then 6 months later, shit's broken or it doesn't work because whatever platform changes the terms of service and you're effed. I hate that. I hate when it was happening a lot about 7-8 years ago. And people wouldn't even test stuff. They just build it, throw it out there and let you be the guinea pig. And I just paid you to be the guinea pig on this stuff. No, that's not the case. This is battle tested. There is a structure. I believe in franchises, right? Franchises don't fail. People fail. That's what we're here to do. But the support system is most important. We're here to support you. So without further ado, as I always say, rock and roll in all that you do. God bless you with abundance, prosperity, health, and wealth. AHA, Americans helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America is our true cause and mission. And Amp Live Media, a media broadcasting and marketing company that powers us and mentees across the United States of America, powers this stuff and other things that we do through marketing and social media and all that good stuff, as we have more plans for it, which we'll reveal down the road. And then VIP Execs Realty, Lending and Investments, step into excellence, yes, and even luxury properties, right? Because luxury properties are pretty hot right now. They're not selling, so they need a good agent or broker to help sell. At the same token, can you wholesale those? Can you sub-to those? Can you seller finance those? Of course you can. Even commercial properties and multifamily, right? If that is your jam and that is your goal, then let's chat, let's talk, because you're definitely going to need freaking target. Otherwise, it's like the Wild Wild West, and you just go out there, blap, 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 and hopefully kill some birds so you can eat, right? I said, let's go after and build a target so you know what you're hunting, and then you know what you're going to eat. Because if you're just going with whatever you can kill, then, hey, that's one thing. That's okay. You'll eat. but you're not going to eat like a king or a queen, right? You want to be able to do that type of stuff, right? And there is a secret sauce to all that good stuff, proprietary stuff that we're going to share with you. And I'm just going to wrap this up. Otherwise, I'll be chatting and talking for the next 24 hours, okay? But like I said, I'm going to give me some dirty, greasy pizza and give me a nice hot coffee and juicy coffee. Going, what? It's too late to be drinking coffee. You're going to be up to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Maybe, but it's all right. I only need about 3 or 4 hours of rock and roll sleep, and I'm good to go until probably, I don't know if that's super healthy or not, but you know, that's the jam. That's what we'll do. Take naps. That's what you take cat naps in between the day, right? Like an old person or a young person, whatever. You're just on reserves. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. But hey, crank it up to 10. I'd love to have you and work with you in one capacity or another. Send those deals down the wire. We appreciate it. We'll underwrite them and get you an offer. I'd rather you just, come aboard and work with us. But I get it. If you're rocking and rolling, you're getting deals, and yeah, please send them our way. We just got to make sure we're on the same page so we can work together and make each other some money. Very simple and easy. See what else we got. That's it. Okay. Until tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. And then obviously I'll be back for Sunday rants and raves, one of my best days and funnest days, because I get to blow some S-bombs and F-bombs. What, on a Sunday? See, you betcha, right? And go from there and share some awesome stuff with you, share some stories with you, and connect. That's what this is all about, right? That's what this does. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Good night.